Hello students. Today in continuation to our last session, we will discuss origin and development of the concept of money, definition and meaning of money, and functions of money, that is money as a medium of exchange and trade, money as a store value, and money as a measure of value. Now before we start this, we shall just once again have a small recap of our last session. That is, we understood what is barter system, that is exchange of goods for goods or services. We also saw the limitations of barter system, like issue of mutual adjustment of wants, difficulty in storing value, and problem of measurement of value. Because of these limitations, there arose a need for a standard denomination which can be used across to buy or to render the services, right? So now coming to our first topic for today, origin and development of the concept of money. Now, as we understood in barter system that goods were exchanged against goods, rather goods were exchanged for the services or to satisfy the wants or needs or demands, right? Similarly, animals were also used as a medium of exchange, that is for like uh, everyone always wants to have some sort of savings. Why? To take care of the future needs and future wants. So at that point of time, animals were purchased against goods. Why? Because to take care of surplus stocks which were produced by the farmers, instead of that they used to purchase animals so that they can take services from them. At the same time, whenever there arose a need again for them in future, they would use to buy or rather sell the animals, and they could buy the services or goods whatever it required. So animals like horse, cow, buffalo, they were purchased against the goods, and when need arose, they were also sold and the goods were purchased. Now this caused difficulties later on. How? It was not advisable. Why? Because animals are also at the end mortal, they would also have fall sick, they would also die. So again, storing value for these animals was also a problem, and therefore this was not feasible for quite a long time. Gradually mineral stones, we must have heard in history that few mineral stones or coins of few typical minerals were used in few kingdoms as a denominations, or even coins were also used in few of the kingdoms in the earlier stages of imperialism. But this also didn't last long, because limitation of the coins used in this kingdom was that the coins were limited only for that particular kingdom. It couldn't be used, or they were not considered outside one particular kingdom. Also, democracy and industrialization also increased a die-hard need or a demand of money as a medium of exchange, rather a common denomination, that is money as a medium of exchange. So basically money solved all the problems of storage of money, and even money solved all the limitations that we saw in the barter system. Now, first of all, we'll right now just have a quick look at the definition of money. Two definitions were given, but I think we'll talk about it later on. But one common, simple, and definition is that money is that which performs the functions of money. That is quite interesting definition. So first we'll understand the functions of money, then we'll talk about the definition of money. So first, money as a medium of exchange. Now once again, going back to the limitations of barter system, if you remember that in barter system we discussed double coincidence of wants. Again I'll quote the same example, that a farmer who produces wheat and he is in need of rice, so he'll look for a person who has rice and who requires wheat. Then only barter system of wheat and rice was possible. But with the introduction of money, money removed the limitation of double coincidence of wants. Because why? Because now farmer can get money, he need not look for the commodity which he wants. for wheat he will get the money, and from the money which he has got he can easily satisfy his needs for buying goods or any other services. So the first function is money as a medium of exchange and trade. Second function of money is money as a store value. Now, as I told earlier also, that we always look for some savings in some form, so that those savings can be useful to us for our to satisfy our future needs or demands. Now, previously, against the goods, animals were bought and they were sold to take care of future needs, but animals could die, so long term use of animals was not possible, and therefore saving of wealth was also not possible and feasible as well. But now, with the introduction of money, farmer can produce wheat, rice, anything. He can get money, and with this money he can save the money for his future needs or future wants very easily. Another important function of money is money as a standard of deferred payment. So the first question that should arise is, what is deferred payment? So in simple terms, or in just two words, if I could say, deferred payment means buy now and pay later. What does that mean? Whenever we go to buy anything, say from Sales India or somewhere, you want to buy an air conditioner, you do not have an money of 40,000 50,000 for air conditioner. So what you will do, you will take a consumer durable loan from somewhere. Sometimes you have to pay down payment, sometimes you don't even pay down payment, but without paying money you will get the goods, that is air conditioner, you will be able to use it. So that is called deferred payment. So deferred payment, basically it is an agreement between the lender and borrower, allowing the borrower to take the possession of air conditioner immediately, but you can start making payments in the future, right? So that is called deferred payment. So money help for the entire system of credit, hire purchase and installment payment. So this is the function of money as a store value. Now, function of money as a measure of value. If you remember the example, that measurement was not precise and was not actually comparable, because sometimes 10 kilogram rice was exchanged against 40 kilogram of say wheat, or 3 kilogram of rice was exchanged for say 1 liter of oil, or whatever. So there was no specific measurement of product against the exchange. So in barter system, that was difficult to remember the exchange rate, that for 10 kilogram of rice, how much kilogram of wheat you will get, or how much kilogram of sugar, or how much kilogram of oil. That was questionable, right? So money implies this price system, that is, money made possible to decide prices of goods which can be compared to each other. So nowadays you know that 1 kilogram of rice is rupees 30 and 1 kilogram of wheat is rupees 22. So immediately and exactly you will be able to understand that what is costlier and what is not. So that is also an important function of money. So three important functions of money are: money as a medium of exchange and trade, money as a store value, and money as a measure of value. Now again coming back to the definition of money. So I hope now it is quite clear that money is that which performs the function of money. Now according to Marshall, money is defined as that medium which is used as a means of exchange without any doubt or investigation, regardless of time or place. While Robertson defined money as what is accepted universally in exchange of goods or services is called money. I hope today's session was clear. I have tried to be as simple as possible. Still, if you have any doubts, you are most welcome. Thank you. Stay at home and stay safe.